Howdy, folks. I'm KG Cepheus, concernedly catching creepy cephalopods.
I'm Amber.
And here are more creepy cephalopods for us to catch. Apparently, the king of Ethiopia really likes creepy octopi.
Or is trying to, they're concernedly catching them, so trying to keep them away from everyone else.
Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Lend My Brother Money After He Insulted My Career Choice? I'm a 38-year-old male, and I've been running my own landscaping business for about 10 years now. It's not everyone's dream, but I love it. It's done well for me. My brother is a 36-year-old male, and we'll call him Derek. Went to a more traditional route. He got a corporate job, and the whole 9 yards. We've had our differences, but nothing major until recently. So Derek hit a rough patch financially. Not going into the details, but it was a mix of bad luck and worse decisions. He came to me asking to borrow money, a pretty significant sum. I was leaning towards helping him out. Family is family, right? But then we got into this argument a few days before he asked me for the money. He made some kind of snide remark about my job, calling it menial, and something teenagers do for summer pocket money. Not a real career for a grown man. It stung because I've worked hard to build my business from the ground up, and I'm proud of what I've achieved. When he asked me for the loan, I couldn't shake off what he had said. I told him that I wasn't going to lend him money, partly because of the financial responsibility, but also because I didn't appreciate his disrespect towards my career and hard work. He called me petty and said that I was letting personal feelings get in the way of helping family in need. Our parents think that I should just let it go and help him out, saying that this is what families do. But I'm standing firm on this. It's not just about the money. It's the principle. I feel like if I give in, it sends the message that he can walk all over me and my choices without consequences. So, am I the jerk for refusing to lend my brother money after he insulted my career choice? All right, folks, what do you think of this one?
Not the jerk. You can tell your parents that they can help him because family helps family. You can also say maybe someday when you have a real job, you'll help him.
It's a little odd that he would make this comment about his brother, especially looking for money to be loaned to him. At a certain point, you have to admit that your brother, even if he's doing a job that's menial or meant for teenagers, is doing remarkably well for himself.
Well, it's jealousy. He knew he wasn't doing so well financially, and he's upset that his brother, who he's looked down on, is doing better than him. So he has to kick his brother.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. And I definitely think it's best not to help him if you don't want that constant condescension, because it would, OP is right, give this idea that he can just say whatever he wants and get away with it, and OP's still going to be there to help him.
Yeah. I think that he needs a lesson in humility, right? I think this is one of those situations where OP isn't obligated to give him money. I mean, family is family, but also family shouldn't insult family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, OP shouldn't be their brother's punching bag. And it does seem like, I agree with you, jealousy on his part. He needs to pull his brother down because he's in a rough spot, so he needs someone to punch at. So this is what he's doing, and he's kind of taking out his anger and frustration on the wrong person. Unfortunately, finances happen, right? I mean, financial issues happen. Not everything can be controlled carefully. Sometimes you have a bad medical episode and you need some medical care, and that costs money. Sometimes you make poor decisions with your money. Well, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Impressive Arm 2563 says, Not the jerk, tell him to get a summer job and he won't have to borrow the money. And A20 Havoc says, Better yet, offer him a job in the evenings cleaning up and repairing your equipment. Tell him it's minimum wage, but he'll get a raise after he learns how to do it well. That actually is a really good.
Mm-hmm.
It might give him a better appreciation for what OP does.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm not going to lend you the money, but you can work for it. And Direction 2, 603 says, Doesn't matter what he said. You shouldn't lend family money. That's how relationships are ruined. He's mad for a bit, but he'll get over it. Now, if you want to gift a smaller amount of money, that's different. Boy90 says, Not the jerk. Please don't loan him money unless you choose to give it to him. Make sure there is a written document if you do. I actually think that's a really good thing to bring up, is that loaning people money in your family oftentimes turns into a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do lend him money, then be prepared that this money won't be returned ever.
Yeah.
Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk? I told my wife to stay in her lane about the motorcycle activities. I have a super sport motorcycle. When I got it, I told my wife that I would go the speed limit and I would be safe. One day, she overheard me talking to a buddy of mine, asking how fast I went on it, and I said somewhere along the lines of 155 miles per hour. This was done on an open straight road with no crossroads, and I can see straight forward. I don't weave in traffic, ride at night, nor do I even ride when it's rainy, because I also have a car and I find no need to ride in the rain. Yes, I messed up and I said that I would ride the speed limit, but I told her it made no sense. And it would be foolish for someone to own and have a sport bike or even a sport car and drive the speed limit the whole time and never test what the vehicle is capable of. 99% of the time, I do the speed limit. If not, then I do no more than 10 over. But for that 1% of the time, and the road is open, I will send it because it's a sports bike. In my eyes, I send it on one of the safest possible conditions. However, she doesn't see that. Yes, I could go to the track, but the closest track is 4 hours away, so it isn't accessible. If my wife was a motorcyclist, then I feel like she would understand. At one point, I told her to stay in her lane as I'm more knowledgeable about motorcycles than she is. For as long as I've had a sports bike and sports car, I literally cannot see myself always going the speed limit. If I see an open road, I take it. So I don't see myself seeing a common ground with her on this topic like this. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think OP's the jerk here. This is a very, very dangerous thing to do. And you completely betrayed your partner's trust. If you never had any intention of going the speed limit, you needed to be upfront with her. And she has every reason to be concerned because motorcycle accidents are very serious.
Yeah.
And more likely to be fatal than car accidents even because you don't even have the same amount of protection.
Yeah. So, the thing is that if you get into an accident at 150 miles per hour, then you're not coming out of that accident. That's really what it boils down to. I've known some people who've gotten into motorcycle accidents and it's taken them months, years, maybe never even fully recovered from them. They can be really devastating. They can be really hard. And that's not even like going 150 miles per hour, right? It only takes just a split second for something to go wrong and then for you to, not be around anymore, right? I think that your wife does have every right to be concerned because when you bought this motorcycle, you made a promise to her that you weren't going to go over the speed limit. And this is what she was under the impression about. Now, you've lied to her, you purposely deceived her, but what kind of bothers me about this whole situation here with OP is that he doesn't seem to actually care that his wife objects to it or is even concerned about his life.
No, it's all about, well, how could I have a sport vehicle and not go this ridiculous fast speed that has been ruled unsafe? That's why we have speed limits. And it's just a really unfortunate situation because he's refusing to consider anyone in the situation except for his need for speed. He's not concerned about his wife, about potentially making her a widow. He's not concerned about the hospital staff, EMTs, first responders who would have to deal in the event of a crash, other vehicles he could run into because, you're going 155 miles per hour. You could come up on another vehicle really quickly without having time to react. It's just not a good situation all around.
Well, and then also the laws, right? If he were to get pulled over going this speed, that's criminal speeding, right? You would go to jail and that's, get a very hefty monetary fine as well, and so that would impact the household. So I don't know. I think OP is an adult. They're certainly welcome to do whatever they want, but their wife is an adult as well. And if she doesn't want to see her husband splattered all across the road, she's entitled to leave this relationship too, right?
Right, and that's the thing is she needs to have the appropriate information to make a decision about the relationship. If you leave her in the dark when you're doing these very dangerous things, she doesn't have the ability to choose to stay or go.
Yeah. I hope you have very good life insurance, and that covers this particular instance. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And OP says, the problem has been resolved since this post. Thank you for everyone's input. And TallCat57 says, dude, the only problem to be solved here is your behavior. Don't speed on the open roads if you want to continue a healthy life. And OP replies, fully aware, that's why I sold my bike and I got a bicycle instead. Definitely not worth the risk. I don't think he's serious.
I wonder if he just got chewed out so much in the comments that now he's pretending like, oh yeah, I got rid of it. Wink, wink.
And Specific Yogurt 2217 says, against the grain here, not the jerk. You bought a sports bike. They're not for driving the speed limit. This was never their purpose. You probably shouldn't have lied to her and said that you were going to drive the speed limit. But at the time, you really wanted a bike. She is also just concerned about your well-being. So maybe you're the jerk is a little bit, but as someone who owned a tuner car or two, it's understandable. And OP replies, fully agree, I am a jerk for lying. Just have an itchy throttle hand every once in a while, that's all. Sad face. And Wild Guess 2767 says, not a jerk. It's your bike and you spent money to own it. It's your life and your hobby. Your safety is your own concern. Don't let these Redditors tell you that you're endangering other people by driving fast on an empty road. They are the same people that drive 60 miles per hour in the left lane on a 65 mile per hour highway, and everyone else hates them. And OP replies, last part's pretty funny, not gonna lie.
All right, this is just ridiculous. Like, he has a wife, and like, what if he doesn't die but is seriously injured? And who's going to be looking after him for the rest of his life?
Yeah, I mean, also, that is actually a really good point. If he ends up in a medical condition where he needs constant care, then his wife didn't sign up for that. She objected to his, risky behavior. And life is full of risks. And certainly, like, you can't live your life completely sheltered from risk. But also, if your partner isn't expecting you to have a certain level of risk, then it's unfair to them to burden them with that if this is something that could have been prevented.
Yeah, so the whole be like, oh, no one else is affected but OP. No, everyone, anyone who cares about OP is affected, but his wife especially, because she would be in a carer position.
Mm-hmm. If he even survives.
Yeah, otherwise she'll be having to make funeral arrangements and all that jazz.
And TallCat57 says, you're the jerk. Take a moment to process the fact that even on open roads, speeding is dangerous. Animals like deer or raccoons will likely cause death or serious injuries when speeding on a motorcycle. Either way, why not give your wife some peace of mind and make the trek to the track to get your speed fix? As it stands, you lied to her about not speeding and then whined when she called you out on it. That's toxic. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she allegedly has a joke.
What did one angry garment say to the other?
One angry garment said to the other, I'm going to light you on fire. I have matches.
Don't skirt the issue.
Don't skirt the issue. I like it. Well done. But it needs more fire. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it involve poor decisions.
When in life you make poor decisions, you can't always expect the other people in your life to clean up your messes.
I think that is great. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
But I told her that it made no sense and would be foolish for someone to have and own a spork bike. Spork. Can you imagine someone driving a spork?
Like little Hot Wheels on it?
Yeah.